कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Of the incarnations, the avatars that Paramatma, Parabrahmam, Bhagavan, who is also revered as Ishvara, Sriman Narayana, has taken, there are a few avatars which would have lasted just for a few hours, and they were there for a purpose. For example, to rescue the Vedas from Hayagriva and Asura. There was an Asura also called Hayagriva. To bless a king of Dramida Desha, the Lord came as Matsya. There was a purpose. To support the mountain called Mandara, he became Kurma. To press it from the top, he became Ajita. To disburse or dispense, distribute Amrita, he became Mohini. To be the medical practitioner for eternity, he became Dhanavantri. To rescue Mother Earth, to protect the soil, earth, he became Varaha. To keep up the words of an honest, sincere devotee called Prahlada, he became Nrisimha. To retrieve the lost wealth of Indra, he became Upendra or Vamana, later Trivikrama. So there was a purpose, probably a single purpose, in certain cases, a few other purposes. But if at all there is one full-fledged Manushyavataram, because Parashurama Avataram was also a Manushya-avataram, but that was not a Purna-avataram. That was Apurna-avataram, where the Lord chose to inject some of His qualities in a normal Jivatma. Whereas the Lord Himself becomes that Avatara, that Purna-avataram, the first of it is Sri Rama-avataram. So even if Parabrahmam chooses to do anything for the first time, there could be certain errors here and there. I am not talking of the word error in the real perspective, but on a very lighter way. See, even in our household, you want to do certain sweets. I am a South Indian, so I am used to South Indian sweets like Mysore Pak, then Putarekulu, then Kakinada Kaja. Then you have got Adirasam from Tamil Nadu, you have got Adapradaman or Chakkai from Kerala. So these are the sweets I know. If you are a Bengali, you may associate yourself with Roshagulla, Roshmaloi, then Shondesh. Then if you are a Gujarati, generally the dishes are themselves sweet. If you are a North Indian, you may associate yourself with Petha, Peda, and so on. If you are a Maharashtrian, maybe with Puran Poli. So we are all used to sweets. Imagine each of us listeners like you and I, we decide to make sweets. This is the first time I am making a sweet. You know, first time when we make something, we may make small errors here and there. Only through experience we will be able to do the course correction. Here this is to be corrected. This much amount of ghee is to be added in such correct regular intervals. This much quantity should be dry roasted. All this will come with experience. So if at all we look at the sequence of the avatars, one of the first Purna avatars of the Lord is Rama Avataram, because he was born from a mother's womb. So his only vow, pledge for this avataram was Pitaram Rochayamasa Tatha Dasharatham Nripam. I am a normal human being. I shall be a normal human being. Atmanam Manusham Manye Ramam Dasharathatmajam. He chose his father. But the moment he was born to Dasharatha, he said, I am a normal human being. I am a normal student like any other child you have in your house. My name is D. Ram. Dasharatha Ram. My name is D. Ram. I am a normal human being. If I fall, even I will get hurt. Even I will cry. I have to go take TT injection. So he tried to act as if he was a very normal human being. And he did. Unlike Krishna, who was born with 4 hands, Shankam, Chakram, lifted the mountain, danced on the snake, did Rasa Krida in the middle of the night, nothing Rama did. He was an obedient student, obedient son, good husband. This is how he was. But I told you, right, this is the first Manushya Avataram. So when you do anything for the first time, you may have a few errors. The biggest error was, he kept telling people that I am a normal human being. But even without his knowledge, in certain occasions, he exhibited his Paramatma qualities. This has been beautifully recorded by Valmiki, but Valmiki doesn't blatantly, openly say so. Only when you read under the feet of holy acharyas, you will be able to mark those particular shlokas. You remember the school days, when the teacher used to say something is important, we will put a cross, we will put dots around it and put a big circle stating that this is very important. So there are certain verses. As and when we discuss those episodes, I shall tell you those verses. Here is one occasion. Dasharatha wants to make Rama the heir apparent. This was informed to Rama. Rama has informed to Seetā. Vasishtha has told the husband and wife to go to Ranganatha Alayam, propitiate Ranganatha and wait for the momentous occasion. On the other hand, something unexpected happened in Kaikeyi's Antahpuram. Dasharatha was called. Dasharatha asked what she wanted, granted those 2 boons. He was cursing himself, he was cursing Kaikeyi, he even disowned his son Bharata. He, through Sumantra, ordered that Rama should come to his Antahpuram. Why? To inform this decision. The plan A was to make him the heir apparent. Now the plan has changed. Plan B is Bharata will be the heir apparent and Rama should go to the forest. So this has to be informed to Rama. So Sumantra goes to Rama's mahal and informs Rama. Kausalya Supraja Rama, Pita Tvam Drashtumicchati. Your father wishes to see you. Then Sumantra leaves because he knows Rama will, of course, obey and will come to Dasharatha's Antahpuram. Now, after Sumantra has left Rama's Bhavanam, Rama now looks at Seetā. Seetā must have been doing some work. He looks at Seetā. Tadaha sammamanayamasa Seetā idamuvachaha. He looked at Seetā. He looked. Sir, what is so great in it? You are creating unnecessary hype around the statement. Why? Imagine 2 of us are in that room. Somebody says your mother is calling you. I will just leave that room. Okay, I will come. Will I look at the other person, look into their eyes, see what their reaction is? Will I do all of this? Why should Rama look into the eyes of Seetā? Seetam idam uvachaha. And then he also saw her. Why? That word see is very important because, see, they know who they are. Seetā knows she is Sakshat Mahalakshmi. Rama knows he is Sakshat Parabrahman Sriman Narayana. But they pose themselves as normal, mundane, primitive mortals like any other human being. The moment Sumantra left, he saw Seetā. But how do we know that? I told you right at the start. Though these incidents have happened and much later Valmiki quotes them, Brahma has blessed Valmiki. Rahasyam cha prakasham cha. What is known in the general public you will write, and what is known as Rahasya you will also write. Then he asked, how can I write the Rahasya? Because all these events have already happened. That is when he says, Hastam amalakam gata, like a gooseberry found in the palm which can be seen clearly. You can see it on your palm. So it was a CCTV footage that Valmiki was seeing. Rama turned towards Seetā, looked at her. Why? Because she is Mahalakshmi. For any anything auspicious to occur in our house, we need to seek the grace of the Divine Mother. Mahalakshmi's eyes, her grace is very important. With her grace, what all can be achieved? One Acharya, Parashara Bhatta says, Ratirmatir Saraswati Dhriti Samriddhi Siddhi Shriya Sudha Sakhi Yato Mukham Chichalishiteva Bhrulata Tato Mukhamathendire Bahumukhim Aham Purvikam Vigahya Javasham Vada Parivahanti Kulankasha. Rati, Mati, Saraswati, Dhriti, Samriddhi, Siddhi, Shriya. All these Devis will be waiting. Good education, good looks, good eloquence, valor, splendor, prosperity. All these qualities have been personified as Devis, and all those 7 Devis will be waiting like this. All of them will be focusing their eyes on Mahalakshmi. So Mahalakshmi will have all these 7 women serving her. Rati, Mati, Saraswati, Dhriti, Samriddhi, Siddhi, Shriya. All these 7 Devis with their pair of eyes. So 7 Devis means 7 pairs of eyes will be looking at Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi will be with a beautiful smile. Now imagine one of you Rasikas is coming and seeking Mahalakshmi's grace. She as a mother is extremely benevolent and impressed by you. Now what she will do, looking at the devotee, she will decide how she should bless. She is a very benevolent mother, a very generous mother. She will just turn and look at those 7 women serving her. Those 7 pairs of eyes are looking at Mahalakshmi. They are quietly observing Mahalakshmi's eye glances. Mahalakshmi doesn't have to open her mouth. She will just look at that devotee, look at these 7 women serving her and say, go there, through her eyes. This is called Abhinayam in Bharatanaट्य Shastram. Go there, go there. With her eyebrow movements, with her eyes, she will tell. Now these 7 Devis who are serving her, Rati, Mati, Saraswati, Dhriti, Siddhi, Shriya, now they will compete with each other. No, I will go first. I will go first. So one Devi, Saraswati will tell Dhriti Devi, I will go. See, I have to impress Mahalakshmi. I have to bless that devotee. Let me run. So Saraswati will be running, Dhriti will be running, Siddhi will be running. To say that if Mahalakshmi's grace falls on the devotee, prosperity, good health, wealth, knowledge, splendor, valor, they will all be competing with each other to reach the devotee. He says, Yato mukham chicha lisheteva bhrulata tato mukhamathendire bahumukhim aham purvikam. Aham purvikam, I will go first. So, Mahalakshmi's eye glances are very important in Sanatana Dharma. Who is Mahalakshmi here? Seetā. What should Rama achieve to keep up his promise? What promise was that? To keep up his promise of annihilating the demoniac forces. Where are the demoniac forces? In Janasthana in Bharatadesham and in Lanka. To go to Janasthana in Lanka, what should Rama do? Not stay in Ayodhya. To not stay in Ayodhya, what should he do? He should have the command from his father to go to the forest. To go to the forest is his wish. For that wish to be fulfilled, who should grant that wish? Mahalakshmi should grant. Who is Mahalakshmi? Seetā. So he is looking at Seetā, his wife. I have to go to the forest. My father has to command me. Please look at me and grant me that grace so that my father commands me to go to the forest. That is why just he looked at Seetā. All this message is hidden there. So he says, Seetam idam uvachaha. And then he tells, Devi devascha devi cha samagamya marandare mantrete dhruvam kinchid abhishechana samhitam. Seetā, my mother Kaikeyi and my father Dasharatha will be discussing about my coronation, my Pattabhishekam. From the superficial meaning, what we will understand, it seems Rama would have presumed that Kaikeyi and Dasharatha are discussing. No, what he meant and told Seetā was, my coronation will stop, that is what they will be discussing, so I have to go there. He didn't say they are going to stop. He is just saying in a very sarcastic manner, both of them must be discussing about my coronation. So, samagamya madantare mantriyate dhruvam kinchit abhishechana samhitam. And one thing, Sita, my mother Kaikeyi, who's the daughter of Kekeya Raja Ashwapati, is very clever. He says, Sa prakrishta maharajam hitakamanuvartini. She will always think good welfare for me. I know about my mother Kaikeyi. She is extremely clever. Janani charthakama me kekeyadhipate sutta. She is a well-wisher of all of us. So she will be thinking good of us. So when Sumantra says that my mother Kaikeyi and my father Dasharatha are calling, something good must happen to it. So can I leave Sita? Look at sarcasm-laden verses here. And then he leaves. Let us see what Rama has to listen to from his father and how he accepts his command in the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.